Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're back with another episode of My Hero Academia, episode 6. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had something of a bit of a Kirishima focused episode, right? Which is odd. It's not usual that we get an episode dedicated solely to one of these characters who's not necessarily a focal character of the series, but I definitely welcome it, right? Interestingly enough, he was one of the first heroes to actually come across this new weapon that the villains have devised, which is essentially something to disable your abilities, right? And that's definitely something that they should be afraid of, very much afraid of. Of course, up to this point, apart from Race Ahead, most of the obstacles that they've come across is just my quirk against your quirk. But what if you're put in a position where you no longer have your quirk to rely on? What then? So it's interesting. He was one of our first heroes to come across that. And I raised the point before that it's odd that we've not seen weapons used frequently in this world, given that so there are so many heroes. There are villains, of course, but there are so many heroes with different quirks. You'd think that there'd be more villains that use weapons. Yes, some of the quirks are very powerful, but some of them not so much, or at least not to the point where they make you impenetrable to bullets. As we saw with Kirishima, it works for him, but I'm not sure it would work for Fat Man or whatever his name was. So it would be a very effective tool against these heroes, but we don't see a lot of weapons in this world. So it's introduced here as a tool to kind of remove the hero's quirks temporarily. Of course, again, it doesn't work on persons who can harden their body. Maybe that was the purpose of focusing on Kirishima here, to kind of underline that. I do wonder though, how would that work against someone like the Invisible Girl? Would she become visible? Very interesting. Would she? But it also underlines something that I've talked about before in terms of what some of our heroes are lacking right now, and that's experience. Right, we saw it with Midoriya earlier this season, and him going on patrol with Lemillion, but even though they came across Overhaul, he just could not see the bigger picture in that they need evidence to take Overhaul into custody. So he's lacking experience there, and I do hope that, being in Night Eye's agency, he'll develop that later on, because that's where I hope to see the character go. And of course, here again with Kirishima, he was a bit brash in rushing head first, leaving the other two that he was on patrol with behind, and going first. And then he was a bit sympathetic towards the villain and let his guard down several times and left himself open to attack. And if it was someone more dangerous than just that guy, then you'd have been in trouble. So of course, outside of the bullet that temporarily disables your quirk, then there's a drug that actually boosts your quirk, which I don't think this is the first time we're seeing it, but it's the first time we're seeing it used in this way. All right, and so there are two things that add an extra layer of difficulty for our heroes going forward. So looking forward to seeing that. We had Tomura and Overhaul actually attempting to come to some sort of a agreement. It's like you have the clout and we have the resources. So hey, let's meet somewhere in the middle and make this whole thing work out. I don't think this will work out. This will be a long-term agreement. I think one of them will turn on the other, but who's to say who'll be first? I think Overhaul will make the first move. He's shown that he's that guy. He's not hesitant. Tomura second guesses himself. I think eventually he'll get to a point where he will not do that, but right now Overhaul seems to have lived in the underworld. He's part of the Yakuza, so he's experienced in those things. So I think he has a slight edge over Tomura right now, but we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, episode 6. Let's check it out.
あれ、みんなこっち？霧島くん関西じゃ。
なんか集合場所がいつもと違くてさ。
They're all agencies are coming together for a special assignment, right?
同じ駅に行く？
It's interesting that they chose to take out Bakugo and
3もお揃いで。これは。
No, they took Bakugo and Todoroki out of this season for the most part. They're the two most powerful guys outside of Midoriya, so it's understandable. But I think the villains that they have to go up against are more than enough of a match.
企んでいるのか。知り得た情報の共有とともに
協議を行わせていただきます。
俺完全に置いてけぼりなんすけど。
They didn't even film it.
なんすか？
悪いこと考えとるかもしれへんからみんなで煮詰めましょのお時間や。お前らも十分関係してくるで。
He has
レ
it.
ザボアドックスと名乗る強盗団の事故からです。
ありましたね。
警察は事故として片付けてしまいましたが、腑に落ちない点が多く追跡を始めました。
私、センチピーダーがナイトアイの指示のもと
Sent to Peter.
追跡調査を進めておりました。調べたところ、市営八斎会はここ1年の間に全国の組織外の人間や同じく裏稼業団体との接触が急増
They're
しており、
growing.
組織の拡大、金集めを目的に動いているものと見ています。そして調査開始からすぐにヴィラン連合の一人、ブバイガワラジン、ヴィラン名トゥワイスと接触。
It's good to see that the heroes are actually doing investigative work.
警察に協力して
小僧、まさかこうなるとは思わなんね。面倒なことに引き入れちまったな。
Yeah.
面倒だ
Again,
なんて
this is
思ってな
not
い
the
です。
first time.
知り合いなんだ。
はい。職場体験でお世話になり
髪の毛オールマイトといたじいさんだ。緑谷すげえ人と知り合いだな。
遊泳生とはいえガキがこの場にいるのはどうなんだ。
I kind of
話
agree
が
with
進まねえ
him.
や。本題の企みにたどり着く頃には日が暮れてるぜ。
抜かせ。この二人はスーパー重要参考人やぞ。
俺たち。
ノリがきつい。
とりあえず初対面の方も多い思いますの
He
で。
hasn't shared that information with them yet? Why wait now?
悪くて可愛い。
That's kind of important.
アメやろうな。
八斎会は認可されていない薬物の裁きをしのぎの人。
昔はゴリゴリにそういうんぶっ潰しとりました。そんで先日のレッドライオットデビュー戦、今までに見たことない種類のもんが玉木に打ち込まれた。個性を壊す薬。
個性を壊す？
Temporarily.
大丈夫なんだろ？
Temporarily. Don't freak them out.
寝たら回復したよ。見てくれ、この立派な牛のひづめ。
朝食は牛丼かな。
回復すんなら安心だな。致命傷にはならねえ。
玉木が撃たれた直後、病院で見てもらったんやが、その個性因子が傷ついとったんや。幸い今は自然治癒で元通りやけど。
その打ち込まれたも
They
のの
could
解
make
析は
something
それ
permanent.
が玉木の体は他に異常なし。ただただ個性だけが攻撃された。キリしか所持してなかった。
Don't they have anyone with a quirk that can
霧
read
島君が
minds
身
or
を挺
anything
して
like
弾
that?
いた。そしてその中身を調べた結果、むっちゃ気色悪いもんが出てきた。
Well, what's it made of?
人の血や細胞が入っとった。
Human blood cells. I figured.
血
So they're
液。
taking it from someone with a quirk that can disable other quirks. Someone like Eraserhead.
つまりその効果は人由来、個性ってこと？
Yeah.
個性による個性破壊。
若頭、妃の個性はオーバーホール。対象の分解、修復が可能という力です。分解、一度壊し直す個性。
Does that work on quirks too? I thought it was just people. So it's from him? Little girl.
千咲にはエリという名の娘がいる。出生届もなく詳細は不明ですが、ミリオと緑谷が遭遇した時は手足におびただしく包帯が巻かれていた。
Ah,
まさ
they're
かそ
taking
ん
it
な
from
おと
her.
なしいこと。
超人社会だ。やろうと
So
思えば
her
誰もが何だって
abilities are
できちまう。
something kind of spawned from Overhaul's ability, but
やっ
it
ぱ
doesn't
ガキはいら
destroy
ねえん
the
じゃねえ
person,
の。
it destroys their
わ
quirk.
かるよな。つまり千咲って野郎は娘の体を銃弾にしてさばいてんじゃねってことだ。
そんな。
実際に銃弾を売買しているのかは分かりません。現段階では性能としてあまりに半端です。ただ仮にそれが試作段階にあるとしてプレゼンのためのサンプルを仲間集めに使っていたとしたら確たる証はありません。しかし全国にわたる仲間集め、資金集め、
I'm wondering
もしも
whether
弾の完成形が完全に個性を破壊するものだとしたら、
he created
悪事
her
のアイデアがいくつで
specifically
も湧いてくる。
for that
想
purpose.
像しただけで腹渡煮えくり返る。今すぐガサ入れじゃ。
今度こそ必ずエリちゃんを
保護する。あの子を助ける。絶対に。
ガキが生きがるのもいいけどよ。推測通りだとして、
What is this
若
guy's
頭にとっ
deal?
ちゃその子は隠しておきたかった核なんだろ。それが何らかのトラブルで外に出ちまってだ。
Not that I disagree
天
with
草
him,
いガ
but
キンチョ
come
ヒー
on,
ロー
time
に
and
見られちまっ
place.
た。素直に本拠地に置いとくか。俺なら置かない。攻め入るにしてもその子がいませんでしたじゃ話にならねえぞ。どこにいるのか特定できてんのか。
確かに。
オールマイトの元サイドキックの割に随分慎重やな。周りくどいわ。こうしてる間にもエリちゃん優子巻いてるかもしれへんのやぞ。
我々はオール
Calm
マイト
down,
になら
fat
ない。
man.
だからこそ分析と予測を重ね、助けられる可能性を
You have
100%
to
に近づけな
strategize.
けれ
That's the
ば。
only way.
焦っちゃいけねえ。下手に大きく出て捉え損ねた場合、
どういう性能かは存じませんが、さあナイトアイ、未来を予知できるなら俺たちの行く末を見ればいいじゃないですか。このままでは少々
Can you see
合
that
理性に
far?
欠ける。
それはできない。私の予知性能ですが、発動したらに
できないとはどういうことなんですか。
例えばその人物に近い将来死、
Ah,
ただ
good point.
無慈悲な死が待っていたらどうします？
ナイトアイ
That would just discourage everyone.
このままいけばあなたはヴィランと対峙し、言い表せようもないほど凄惨な死を迎える。
私の個性は行動の成功率を最大まで引き上げた後に勝利のダメ押しとして使うものです。不確定要素の多い間は闇雲に見るべきじゃない。
はあ、死だって情報だろう。そうならねえための策を講じられるぜ。
裏
Put yourself together, Night Eye.
とりあえずやりましょう。困っている子がいる。これが最も重要よ。
娘の居場所の特定、保護、可能な限り角度を高め早期解決を目指します。ご協力よろしくお願いします。
Let's see her turning her body, but I mean,
ツヤで
she
も
can't
してんのか。
regenerate, so it's, I mean, it's just taking her
学
blood.
外ではイレイザーヘッドで。
Which isn't great either, but
いやしかし、今日は君たちのインターン中止を提言する予定だったんだがな。
今さらなんで？
ヴィラン連合が関わってくる可能性があると聞かされたろう。残念なことに、ここで止めたらお前はまた飛び出してしまうと俺は確信してしまった。俺が見ておく。するなら正規の活躍をしよう、緑谷。
so it's not gonna be reckless again. Somehow I doubt it. It's the first time I'm seeing Lemillion like down and not smiling and happy.
エリちゃんにとって
そうでしたか。なるほど。緑谷を差し向けたのは私とオールマイトの中を取り持つため。
いや、きっかけの一つになるんじゃねえかと思ったんだがな。年食うといらねえことばかりしちまうな。で、どうだ、緑谷いずくの感想は。
よく似ているように思います。私が理解
Is
で
that
き
a
なかっ
good
た。
thing? Alright, so there we have it, episode 6 of season 4. Not a lot happening in terms of action, but things are certainly starting to ramp up, and we are going to be taking on the Yakuza Overhauls gang. And if I was a parent, I would not have my kids in this school because they keep dragging my kids into dangerous situations. But I'm glad to see that we are focused a bit on the C&D characters now, more so than the Todoroki and Bakugo from season 1 and 2 and 3. I've said before that this is very much an ensemble anime, so there are a lot of characters and you can't touch on every single one of them every season. So it's good that those two have taken a back seat in favor of giving more light to some of these other characters who are just as interesting in my opinion. Froppy is one of my favorites from season 1, and she's been out of the picture I think for most of last season, so it's good to see her getting a spotlight here. There are some merits to the points that Fat Man and the others have made about not waiting and thinking too much and planning instead of acting. but I think they've become so reliant on All Might. You know, being able to just jump in head first without having to worry about what repercussions might be. That they've become lax, and they don't have All Might anymore. As Nada said, he's not in the picture anymore. So you have to find ways and means to achieve the same result, but going a different way to get there. And this is the best way to do it. I see no better way to do it. I don't know what that black hero's name was who kept interjecting. So rude. He made some good points, but bad timing. So, I mean, they made some good points about acting now to save the girl, but I mean, gotta look at the bigger picture, and it's something that I keep saying that, you know, that Midoriya lacks, but it seems he's not the only one. The other more mature, more professional hero seems to be quite irrational too. I mean, I do get the impression that we're going to be losing someone this season. And I mean, before I even get to that, to my previous point, right? If this were this normal circumstances, I don't understand rushing in first, but things have changed to the point where you now have these villains with weapons that can disable your quirk, and they have booster drugs that they will use to enhance their abilities, but heroes will not use the drugs themselves, so you're at a disadvantage. So, I mean, take your time. You will save the girl. If not, I mean, you can only do your best to try to get that result. But they have to look at the big picture. And, I mean, rushing now, you could jeopardize everything. You might save that one girl, but then you may end up losing others. So, I don't know. It's best to be careful. But, as I was saying, someone dying this season. I do think someone will die. I get the impression it's going to be Naita, if not Lemillion. But I think it's going to be Naita because of his prediction that All Might will die. What I think will happen is, in true shonen style, Naita will be the one that dies instead of All Might. So, which I wish would not happen because he's quickly become one of my favorite characters. Best Genius was one of my favorites back in the earlier seasons, and they killed him off unceremoniously. And I like the weird, odd characters, and he was just, his ability was just very weird. And I like Nighthawk because he's very much a strategic, a logical thinker. So I like him. And if they kill off this character too, I'll be sad. You can't kill off both characters that I've managed that I like in this series. So I hope I'm wrong, but I do think we're gonna lose either Nighthawk or Lemillion. Lemillion, I think because he was supposed to get one for all, and I think at some point they want to put that argument to rest whether Midoriya deserves it more or Lemillion does. And the best way to do that is to make him a martyr for Midoriya, to say, okay, now I'm serious, now I'm a certified hero, and I will fulfill his dream of saving a million people. So I think one of the two will die. I think perhaps Nighthawk will be the one to go. As much as I dread that, I think that may very well be what happens. So, I mean, they have a plan. We'll see how well it works out, right? Alright guys, be sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.